Hey YouTube, here going to talk about things going on in the world around us. This time, the NFL is kneeling during the national anthem. This time I say NFL because the whole league seems to be doing it. And to preface this, I had a half-an-hour video about Colin Kaepernick when he first was doing it, and about who Colin Kaepernick is as a player and why it didn't make sense and all this other mumbo-jumbo, and that actually turned into one of my most disliked videos. Because honestly, I play both sides on the issue. Me personally, I'm relatively patriotic, so me personally, if I were an NFL player, I probably wouldn't kneel. However, I do recognize that the First Amendment is designed for freedom of speech and for protests like this, in this manner. I think it's absurd that Donald Trump chimes in and is making such a big deal, and anyone really is making such a big deal out of players kneeling during the national anthem. Me personally, I do feel like, in a weird way, it kind of is disrespectful to veterans and those who've served. However, at the same time, I respect the message they're trying to convey. Cops who do shoot innocent people should be convicted or fired. However, that's a very gray bag, because in every case, or many cases, they're outliers. They are things that don't happen like every day in every city, for example. But there are cities like Baltimore, St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, where it does happen every day. So, but why I think it's a national issue we do need to talk about is because, A, I think, why are there so many laws out there which require police to be pulling people over all the time? And B, you know, why aren't officers given enough mental health care? Because they really do go through a lot of stuff. Ultimately, how I really feel about the matter is I respect their right to do it, and I could care less whether they're doing it or not, and I respect the message they're trying to convey, whether or not it's entirely accurate or not. It's a discussion that we as a country need to have, and it shouldn't be so quick to silence them, especially by the likes of major politicians who have a lot of influence in this world. And I feel this way because our country is founded on principles of freedom of speech. Our founding fathers fought for the First Amendment because of them understanding the authoritarian nature of suppression of speech. Many consider the beginning of the American Revolution, the spark that really invigorated the American colonies into fighting for independence, was the Boston Massacre. Likewise, what happened in the 1960s, when Boston, not when Boston, I was thinking Boston Massacre. These pros are distracting me. I don't know if you can hear them. But likewise, what happened that really sparked the free speech movement, which is very topical right now because that is something that is in the discussion, is the Kent State Massacre, where the American military opened fire on students in Kent State for expressing their opinions. Whatever your opinions are, so long as it's not saying people should die for reasons which are out of nowhere, or really inciting hate and violence, all opinions should be absolutely respected, even if they come from an accurate place or not. And it's absurd that our president is speaking out against it. Ultimately, I'm gonna shut this door. I can't take it anymore. These birds are driving me crazy. I can't even think with these crows everywhere. I don't know if you heard it on camera, but there's just a giant murder of crows right out my door there. What was I talking about? Freedom of speech, again, is our founding principle, and if we squabble over stupid things like who's patriotic or not for doing what, it's patriotic to do what you want to do. Yeah, if that's sitting for the national anthem, fine. I would say it's more nationalistic to try and label anyone as unpatriotic for doing something they don't want to do. It's a really weird, paradoxical form of thought to try and force someone to be a certain way in a country where there is freedom of speech. Because when you are the person doing that, you become the oppressor. And that is something we as Americans need to be very careful about. In Nazi Germany, it was a punishable offense to not stand for their equivalent of the Pledge of Allegiance, and children were like taken out of school for not doing such things. And there was recently a school presentation where in Texas, which said it's a crime not to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, or it's a crime not to stand for the national anthem. And that's not true. It might be a crime in the state of Texas, but definitely not a federal issue. This is last. I'll close it out on this one. Pittsburgh Steelers, the entire team just stays in the locker room. They don't even come out. But one Steeler comes out and stands for the national anthem, hand on his chest, right hand on his chest. And he did it because he was a Ranger and wanted to support veterans as a veteran himself. And then the coach, after the game, was asked about that, and he said he was disappointed in the player for making that decision. And then the player, who used to be a Ranger, goes out and says, well, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Bullshit, you made a mistake. You did what you wanted to do. Don't pay any attention to your coach, or don't pay any attention to anyone outside of your team saying you should do something or not. As long as you're not breaking a law or murdering someone, which is breaking a law, as long as you're not doing that, who cares what people think of what you're doing? And I think all teams should have a mixed bag of people standing or sitting based on what they want to do. And if the team members want to talk about their decisions, it should be among them, and it should always be among the decision of the individual. The Dallas Cowboys are getting a lot of flack for all of them, including the owner coming out in his blue powdered suit that looks like a prom from the 1970s, linking arms with players and kneeling. Was that a consensus between all of the players? We are, if so, great. If not, was there peer pressure? Was it a decision where the coach said you have to do this? I don't know. But it just seems like the South Park episode that did this is very accurate. It seems like we're paying more attention to whether or not someone's going to stand or sit during a national anthem than actually the game. And it's absurd to me. It's absurd. This is news. Extension on this conversation, because this is similar. Steph Curry, in my opinion, the best three-point shooter in all of NBA history, was asked if he's going to go to the White House, and he hesitated. He was like, maybe, us as a team, we're going to talk about it. And then Donald Trump says, well, Steph Curry's hesitating. It's a great honor to come to the White House. And if you decided you don't want to come, then, or if you're hesitating, then it's, I'm trying to do my own, then I take away the opportunity for you to come. And so the whole Warriors organization comes out and says, okay, well, we were planning on going and bringing along whatever players we want to bring, and it was an excellent opportunity for us to talk about major things in not low income compared to the national standard, but low income areas like Oakland and the challenges they face. We're going to bring that to the White House, bring that discussion there. We were looking forward to the opportunity. Now that Steph Curry can't go, we're not going. And it's just like, oh, Donald Trump, you idiot. Here's the two-parter. The first part of he did this to one tweet. He did that in a tweet, and then within a couple minutes even, he tweeted about North Korea and how Kim Jong-un is close to a nuke and he's a national threat and all that. What is the world paying attention to? What do we flip out about? We flip out about Donald Trump not allowing Steph Curry to come and the ensuing Twitter arguments between LeBron James and Donald Trump. And LeBron James, kudos to him, said something like, well, it used to be a national honor, but now that you can just take it away like that, it's not much of an honor to go anymore. And what we as a collective consciousness on the internet pay attention to, whether or not players are going to go to the White House to be honored by the staff over there, way more than nuclear war and potentially the end of the world. That's how freaking dumb we are. And we are paying more attention to NFL kneeling than potential nuclear war. We're paying more attention to NFL kneeling than crippling debt. We're paying more attention to NFL kneeling than ensuing hyperinflation. We're paying more attention to NFL kneeling than hungry kids in Africa, than hungry kids in the United States, than homeless people, ever-rising population in the United States. This is how stupid we are, everybody. Who cares who stands or sits or kneels during the national anthem? It's your choice to watch the NFL or not. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. If you have an opinion, spread it, whatever. But it really, really, including you, Fox News, including probably CNN too. I don't watch CNN or Fox for that matter. But I've been seeing a lot of reports on my feed from sources like that. Stop spending so much damn time talking about useless issues that don't matter, like kneeling for the national anthem, like whether or not a player wants to go to the White House. The president is not the arbiter of what we should all care about. The president is just a human being with an important job, and instead of caring about what he's tweeting about, how about we make him care about things that matter? He almost impressed us with what he did with, he actually did impress me with spending so much time in Texas and going and visiting Florida after the disasters and having a presence there. Let's make Donald Trump do more of that. If you want Donald Trump, and by the way, this is an important factor, if you want Donald Trump, the senators, the congressmen, your local politicians, if you want them to do things about things that matter, stop paying so much damn attention to kneeling at protests and who's going to the White House. Put pressure on your local government, put pressure on your congressmen and congresswomen, put pressure on our senators, put pressure on our president, put pressure on the international community of the United Nations if you have to, on things that matter. Stop spending so much damn time on things that don't matter. The United States has a First Amendment. Use it for useful shit. Stop using it for celebrity gossip and sports figures standing or sitting or going to the White House or not. I'm so tired of this useless shit I am always hearing about on the news. I understand that standing or sitting, national anthem, patriotism versus nationalism, and those two very nuanced, paradoxical ideas is the deeper discussion of the matter. But skip the step of talking about standing or sitting. That, you know, this whole thing is a non-issue, and that's why I think we need to do better as a society as far as holding ourselves accountable to bigger and more important things. Anyways, that's it for me. If you liked what I said here, spot me a like. If you like that I'm doing live streams, let me know. If you hate that I'm doing live streams, let me know. I might go back and keep going on recording video beforehand. If you have a video suggestion, spot me a message or hit me up in a comment, and I'll try to accommodate. Anyways, that's it for me. Hope you all having a good one.